Hello YouTube, this is Morgan, Airspeed Prime, here at my next Naruto Shippuden episode review. This one's going to be for episode 469, a special mission. First of all, a link to watch the episode, if you haven't seen it yet, is in the description below, but let's get into the review. So this is in fact a canon episode, that's important to state here. It may seem like a filler episode, but it is actually based on a chapter that came out after chapter 700, written by Kishimoto, so it is canon. Now you can obviously have a separate discussion about why they decided to place this episode here, in that it might have had a little bit of better impact coming like an episode or two after the finale, but you know, they want to wait to obviously put the finale episodes out, the proper, you know, canon stuff, chapter 700. But I think it was a good episode overall. I liked the chapter when that chapter came out, and I thought this anime adaptation of it was really good. Because it links off probably one of the most fun filler episodes from original Naruto, which was them trying to, you know, see what's under his mask the first time, and they failed, and they kind of ended that episode, I think, with the reveal that he actually under his mask has a second mask. And the whole thing about this episode was that he knew that they would come after his mask again, and that they'd want to see his face, and he kind of used it as a way to kind of another teamwork exercise. In that, I thought it was a really good reveal that Sukeya, this photographer guy who's like this former ninja guy, former Anbu member, is actually just Kakashi using a transformation jutsu. I thought that was not transformation jutsu, just Kakashi in makeup basically, and you know, a disguise. So I thought that was a really good reveal, because it basically meant that you kind of had a general look at his face almost the entire episode. Obviously minus a kind of couple of things, in that like he obviously was wearing a wig and all this kind of makeup to cover the distinct features of his face, like the scar and the Sharingan. And I suppose the most notable thing though was the kind of little mole, kind of beauty mark almost type thing that he has on his kind of chin there. And I like that was just there the entire episode, and then the reveal is just like, oh, he actually has that. And it was so interesting to kind of see him just with the mask down. Obviously, he's kind of just about to get a shower, and you kind of see him as he's taking the makeup off, kind of revealing the kind of full scope of the plan, that he kind of had rented out the camera, and that he wasn't actually a photographer and stuff like that. And it was a kind of cool reveal. But I almost think the better part of the reveal was when he's watching the three of them walk off, Sakura, Naruto, and Sasuke, and he just kind of pulls down the mask and says, you know, their teamwork's getting better. Kind of a couple more times like that, and I might not be able to, you know, keep my mask up. They'll eventually find out. So the implication being that they probably at this point know what his face looks like, and that it was only a matter of time. The all of them will eventually team up and they will get him, but it will be a successful thing, because ultimately it's not a real big issue. Like he's not like trying really difficult to hide it. He's more just using the fact that everyone wants to see it as like, okay, teamwork exercise. So I like that. And you know, he just had all these kind of clones, and he just put them through so much in regards to like coming up with these plans. Like he basically almost got them like arrested by their own village, because like Kakashi as Sukeya told them to go into the confidential place, and then they got taken. And you know, you had all these other fun moments where like just the random stuff gets in the way, where like if it wasn't for this random stuff happening, like the frog jumping in the way of Ino's transmission jutsu, or Kiba arriving at the exact wrong moment, they probably would have found out already. But just Kakashi has a lot of luck on his side with this sort of stuff, so it made for a very fun and entertaining episode. Though obviously not very kind of plot focused, but they focused on what they wanted to, which was the whole face reveal and making a big deal about it, and obviously actually giving it to us at the end was a really kind of big moment. And it to me, it really just highlights that Kakashi, especially in part one back here, is actually a very kind of young character. He's only about 26 in part one, so seeing that he has a very young looking face make sense, and you can sort of get why he likes to cover it up, in that he prefers to be kind of, as a ninja, known for what he does rather than kind of what he looks like, and so he kind of hides the fact that he's actually like this super attractive guy under it. They didn't seem to kind of like imply that he has some sort of a kind of look issue about like people seeing that kind of beauty mark thing. It's just that he prefers to hide it, his face under the mask, and I like that they almost revealed it with like his initial kind of ninja registration photo that like requires you to have it taken without any mask on. That was kind of fun, because obviously Naruto had to get his picture taken in like the first or second episode when he got it taken with like this makeup on, so he had to take it off. So it has to be your actual face. So that was a nice little continuity moment. And then there's some fun moments like the fact that Guy, of all people, was the one who nearly basically figured out who he was through the disguise, which is kind of funny because usually he's the one who gets caught up in all this stuff, isn't the most intelligent, and oftentimes forgets people he has met a lot. So the fact that he actually just zoomed in on this guy who basically is just Kakashi in disguise and knows him so well was actually a kind of surprising thing, but it made for a really fun end to the episode. And even the interactions between a lot of the kind of Leaf rookies was nice. Hinata was involved in one of the plans, and she had this moment where she was about to get really embarrassed because she thought Kakashi was about to do mouth-to-mouth resuscitation on Naruto, who was transformed into this drowned woman, and she was getting really embarrassed that Naruto was basically about to be kissed as the way they're going to see his face. So that was a kind of another fun one. I liked the plan, the kind of Inoshika Cho plan that almost worked. Having the part 1 music come back was really nice, and I hope this means that when we get towards the very end, they'll be willing to use some of that kind of classic music. And so speaking of that, once we get to the big stuff at the end, like especially the Naruto Sasuke fight that's coming up, I really do hope that they use a blend of like maybe 1 or 2 new music tracks, but when the moments call for it, you bring back the original stuff. I'd really like that. Seeing another kind of part 1 episode now really highlighted that, and I suppose it's kind of a very fitting time that we actually got this episode, in that it was so interesting to see Team 7 back when things were good, and the biggest issue they had was just like, we're kind of a new team, let's get working together. And just seeing them all nice. Sasuke involved with them in like a way where like he actually wants to find out what's under Kakashi's mask, and is like invested in the plan just as much as anyone else. Like that was one of the few things in part 1 where Sasuke was like, okay, I'll hang out with you guys because I want to see what's under the mask. So but huge contrast to now, where even though Sasuke is on their side once again, his attitude is kind of such that it's not the most friendly kind of teamwork that they have going on right now. So yeah, that's basically the episode. As I said, interesting time to reveal Kakashi's face. Obviously, what's coming up very soon, like in an episode or 2 in the anime, is obviously the kind of big Kakashi Obito stuff. So it is, I suppose, sort of fitting that like Toby being revealed as Obito was one reveal. That's kind of like one face reveal for a character. It sort of makes sense that going into their kind of final sequence together, that we do get Kakashi's face reveal at this point. So I sort of understand the kind of reasoning behind the placement of this episode, and that we're getting into some of the more important and impressive Kakashi stuff coming up. So yeah, that's pretty nice. And then the face, as I said, I thought it was really nicely done. A lot of people are saying animation error, because at the end you see that he has when you see him taking off the makeup, when you get the full reveal of his face, his Sharingan isn't active, because obviously as a non-Uchiha he can't deactivate his Sharingan eye, so that's why he actually wears the headband over his eye until he actually wants to use it. The explanation I would give for that is just that we never in the animation see him take off the contact from his left eye. We see him basically take off all the other stuff, like he takes off the kind of purple bit, but to covering his scar, but he never actually takes the contact off his Sharingan eye. So I think that just about gets away with it. And then the other scene, obviously, when he's just behind the kind of fence, he has the eye covered up. So I don't really think that was an animation error, because obviously they don't show him taking that contact lens off the other eye. But I suppose some people will continue to argue that they could have made it more clear that he had already taken it off or whatever, that they could have just shown it with the Sharingan. But I think even in the manga chapter, that's the way they do it. Like the reveal of his face comes in that kind of odd way where it is just his eyes kind of look normal. But yeah, so fun episode. I don't really mind getting episodes like this every so often. I do think now that we've had like a pretty big filler arc with the Ashura Indra stuff, and now this, next episode, of course, we're getting back to canon. I'm excited for that, of course. And I hope it's just a run of canon episodes up until the end now. I hope they don't do too many filler or flashback episodes coming up, and we just kind of, finish this up now, and then you can do whatever episode you want after that. But yeah, exciting stuff coming up. But that's my review of this week's episode. So in the comments, let me know what your thoughts were on the episode, and your thoughts on what I've said here in my review. You can follow me on Twitter or Tumblr. Links to them are in the description. And if you want to help support my channel so I can make more videos, better videos, you can do so in a few different ways. You can do a one-off donation. There's the PayPal donation link in the description below. And then if you want to be a more regular kind of supporter of my channel, there is my Patreon page, which is also linked in the description below. And there are a variety of reward tiers where you can get involved in various videos that I do, so check that out. But yeah, that's been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.